God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the wall.
Welcome everybody to CFR Championship Podcast. I don't know what week we're in now. We are live here, joined by always Joe Burchett and Jesse Gavey. You guys got me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Last night we went to the fun track, Pocono International Speedway, 90 laps. First off, let's just start with Joe before we go over the points and stuff like that. Joe, what was your thoughts on the race? You know, we had to use you mainly as a race control, but what was your main thoughts on the race from your standpoint?
From my driver standpoint, I thought it was fun. There was a couple points during the race. It seemed like even as a driver, it was kind of, got a little bit boring. Everything got kind of stretched out. But, we had a few cautions that bunched everything back up. The restarts were interesting, to say the least. We had a couple incidents with a few of the restarts. For the most part, it was enjoyable, as a racer on my part. A little hectic as a race control, trying to figure out cautions and stuff.
Jesse, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd say for the most part it was pretty fun. Leading the race for the first 17 laps was kind of, for the first little while it was pretty good because I had Scott kind of working my butt a little bit, but after I stretched the gap, it kind of got a little bit boring. But after we had that first restart, things kind of got a little bit more racy and it was a lot more enjoyable, I think.
And we've seen you get into the wall on the broadcast, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but I want you to explain to what happened, what exactly happened for you to, get into the wall. That really, hurts your momentum because you was actually checking out over everybody. So what exactly caused that?
To be honest, I'm not really too sure. I just picked up a new wheel last week. Not going to say it was the wheel's fault at all, because it was definitely a little bit of driver error, but gear shifter ended up going into neutral. I had a problem with getting used to the 3-pedal system. I had a problem back at an official race at Michigan where I had accidentally pressed the clutch pedal instead of the brake pedal, so that's what I thought I had done. It turns out I didn't, and I had actually knocked the shifter into neutral, so it is what it is. And
I think that's all. I know, Joe used a 3-pedal system. I'm sure a lot of people have had that kind of issue before. Real fast, we'll take a look at the points and we'll go down and get everybody's thoughts on certain drivers and stuff on how they did. Mike Bruno was able to still hold on to the points lead. However, the gap did shrink. He is only, 4 points behind.
I think it's only 4 points.
Joe Burchett, who's in here right now. Then we got Kyle Charpentier, who did not lose any positions. Dawson Cook, a little disappointed. I thought he would actually have a really good race there. Lost 2 positions, and then we go to Jesse Gavey, who jumped from 8th to 5th, which is a big jump for you. Then it goes to Tyler Justice, Christopher Matthews, no change there. Robert Land, that's somebody else I thought would actually have a really good race, is in 8th. Tyler Cox actually rounds out the top 10 in points, although because Tyler Justice, Christopher Matthews is tied. So right now, Michael Redding, Derek Pemberton, and Jeff Newport, Scott McClendon is not in the chase right now. Last night, who was you most impressed with, Joe? I know you didn't get to see, everybody really race because you ran up front a lot of the race, but who was you mostly impressed with?
I have to give some credit to Jesse, as he's kind of had some bad luck, so far throughout the year. He ran up front for most of the race, and I would have to say 2 people, Jesse and Scott McClendon. Scott I think that's the first race that he hasn't really had connection problems that bad, was able to actually put a full race together. And I think he ran pretty well.
Yeah, I was impressed with Scott myself. Jesse, who was you most impressed with?
Honestly, Justin Krasinski. He managed to make older tires work, especially on that last run. He made them work really well, so I was definitely impressed. He definitely has a lot of race skill, for sure. He raced me pretty hard at the end, but he actually raced me pretty clean too. So I was pretty impressed with that.
Yeah, I was, super impressed with him. I mean, there was so many, I'm not really impressed with anybody per se. I mean, there's so many drivers that did really well last night themselves. I mean, for example, like we said, Justin Krasinski done amazing. William Kruska had a good race going until he got in the wall, which is a weird wreck if y'all haven't seen it yet. It's very odd. That whole Evolution team's been getting better themselves, in here anyway, and you can start to see it. Impressed with Tyler Cox. We said it at Michigan. No change really there. Let's talk a little bit about Robert Land. I thought he would run better. Joe, you probably felt the same way. I felt like that was his type of track. I mean, any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, we were kind of talking back and forth some throughout the race in our chat, our little chat room that we got. And yeah, he was, he kind of liked the track, but he was kind of just mainly trying to look for a top 10 finish. He was kind of saying that he wasn't too comfortable around there, so it was more of just a survival race and hopefully not get wrecked out. And then, if I can remember correctly, I think he did get caught up in the wreck that me and Dawson and Jeff Newport were caught in, so he was kind of down with that. He'd already used his fast repair strategy just like me and Jeff, so he was basically just trying to make sure he didn't hit the wall or anything and conserve his stuff and try to just make it to the end.
Oh, I was sitting there talking to myself. I was having myself on mute. Anyway,
I'm not gonna lie. I just sent Joe a message asking if he died. So
yeah, sorry about that. I was sitting there talking to myself. I was sitting there saying this is a two-part question that I got. Daytona, we had AJ Brissett win. Auto Club, we had Tyler Cox. Las Vegas, Mike Bruno. Sonoma, Joe Burchett. New Hampshire, Robert Land. Michigan, we had Dalton Collins. And Pocono, we had Justin Krasinski. So 7 different winners, 7 different races. This week we head to Darlington. Do we see 8th different winner of the season? And why are we seeing so many different winners, for this season so far?
yeah, I definitely think we see a new winner. It's going to be the pace car. But no, in all honesty, I think it just shows the level of skill that everybody's got in this league. I mean, there's so many good drivers, and so many people get at so many different types of tracks that it really shows the skill of a lot of drivers.
Joe?
I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit there with Jesse. I think one of the guys that's already got a win so far this season is gonna possibly bring home another one at Darlington, and be the first 1 to 2 wins on the season. Darlington's definitely a tough track. The pace car will definitely be the least incidented car there, for sure. I imagine everyone by the end of that race will have a stripe, at least one, if not more. But I just think experience. If you've got any kind of experience from that track in a different league or any, just from running maybe the official races, it could benefit you. I know several of the guys that already won this season. We've kind of ran in some other leagues that have ran Darlington several times before and have a lot of experience there. So I would not be surprised if you see one of our earlier winners on the season win again.
All right, so that's pretty much all we got to talk about this week. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff that we really got to talk about. We had no issues with anybody on the track that we know of. Everybody's going to see Radioactive before this goes up. I hope everybody enjoys it. I do want to mention one thing real fast. The next 2 races are going to be big for not only for people trying to get into the top 10, and I want to mention why. We go to Darlington, Martinsville, and Dover, and then we go to Canadian Tire, and then Talladega. So the schedule is really about to toughen up, and that's the last 5 races of the schedule. There is no, and then we have the All-Star race, and then the chase starts. So yeah, it's very interesting to see the last 5 races. Actually, I didn't know it was like that. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. We got actually a practice we got to go do. So, thanks for watching. This was kind of a short one, a little bit shorter than what we normally do, but I hope everybody liked it. And we'll be back here soon. Anybody got anything else to say?
I think we're good.
All right, make sure y'all check out our sponsors, swampdust.com and livingaquarium.net. Is it Living Aquarium? Yeah, livingaquarium.net.
Yep.
Be sure to check them out. As always, thanks for watching. We'll talk to everybody here soon, and God bless.
And I can't control it, hiding under